Yeah, so hello everyone and welcome to today's stream. Today we are going to discuss all the upcoming Disney animated movies which are coming in the coming years. And as we all know that so far in the past years Disney has announced a lot of movies definitely, and surprisingly most of them are sequels which Disney for a period of you can say almost a decade has been stopped producing any sequels for a while. It was really confusing era for Disney fans because at once Disney was producing quality films, quality sequels, and then all of a sudden they stopped doing the sequel and just started focusing more on the newer films. And obviously that strategy wouldn't work anywhere because you have to carry on the older things while bringing up the newer ideas on the you can say on the screens. But anyways, after you can say learning from many other sequels, like we have got Topia 2, we have got Moana 2, and we have also so now you can say we also got Inside Out 2. We also now got Toy Story 5, and there are other sequels which are underway like Incredibles 3 and Coco 2, and also now Moana 3 is underway as well. Monsters Inc. 3 is underway as well, and there are also many other sequels like that. So this actually you can say shows that Disney is now focusing more on the sequels. Yeah. Yes, obviously. In the past few years, Disney have experienced so much decline. Not even in the box offices, but also with the you can say the fan base because Disney was producing the new ideas, was working on new films or new things. But unfortunately, those new ideas aren't you can say matching or you can say getting much attention by the audience. Obviously, because they have some flaws in them, they aren't good as like they were producing before. Like back in 2016, they produced Utopia, and then back in you can say a little bit then 2014 I think so they produced Inside Out and things like that. But after that Disney have started going towards decline because they aren't focusing much on their sequels or their big franchises, and also they the new ideas they were working upon aren't you can say that much enough good that they were producing in the past few years. So that's why the decline was obviously the obvious. And but thankfully and fortunately, after a few you can say drawbacks, they finally realized that they should work with their you can say popular franchises and bring back their old franchises back with their sequels or prequels or something like that, revive them because they are you can say their real asset. Yes. Yeah, definitely you're right. And if we start moving on into the stream, then there are a lot of you can say Disney movies coming up in the next years. But if we start from the very first ones, then we will start with the sequels first, definitely because we are more into the sequels for now. As other than the newer movies, they are also really well made and good, but still, for the Disney fans who have you can say grew up watching. The older Disney movies, so sequels feel more you can say relatable. So let's first discuss the sequels which are going to come in the coming years. If we start from the very first, then it's Toy Story 6. We have discussed this multiple times in separate streams and videos too, that it's already on the board. As we all know that Toy Story 5 was officially released almost a month ago, but and after that, it is you can say obvious that Toy Story 6 is still there on the board because it is revealed by the, the you can say the director of Toy Story 5 Andrew Stanton not only a single time but multiple times that Toy Story 6 is coming really soon. And if we move forward, we will discuss, you can say, Toy Story 6 later on in the stream because we have discussed it a lot of times. Even the separate streams, we'll discuss it again. But for now, let's start with something newer. So let's first start the discussion over Incredibles 3, which is, you can say, first announced back in 2025. And after that, it was revealed that it has given the release slot sometime in 2028 or later, and now it's also clear that it's you can say coming out in 2028, not you can say going into 2029 or 2030 or later. It's coming out in 2028, and most likely in the November. You can say in the November 2028. Yeah. So right now, let's first start our discussion with Incredibles 3. So tell me, what do you think about Incredibles 3 and all the updates we have so far about the movie? Yes, The Incredibles 3, as you have already told, that it is coming out in November 2028, and so far what we know about the movie is the storyline that it will be more focused on the incredible kids like the Power Family kids, Violet, Dash, and Jack Jack. As you can say, they are a new generation of heroes, obviously, and the film will focus on them because we can already imagine that Violet and Dashet are already so much grow up in the you can say second installment, while the Jack Jack, who was you can say a kid in the second installment as well, he's also now got you can say more younger, and obviously the main focus of the film was on the kids, and Jack Jack will be a main focus too. You can say the main lead of the plot. We can say it. So it will focus on the family kids, and it might be have some you can say return of any kind of the villain for the first two films, obviously, and we can expect it as well. Yes. Yeah, so you have discussed all the updates we know so far about the movie, and what I think so is that there's also an update coming out recently that the Incredibles 3 can it can happen that it wouldn't be more you can say grow up the characters, so it means that it wouldn't you can say go further in the timeline or in future. It can happen immediately or a few you can say or only 1 or 2 years later after the previous events of the previous movie. So it is also a possibility here, and I don't know the exact details or more information over this, but this is also an update which is coming out about Incredibles 3. So in that way, I can guess is that the movie well, definitely, as we all know that now the superheroes are legal, because in the first two incredible movies, the superheroes were not illegal. They were illegal and they were working in the shadows to save the day. But now they are officially legal, so they can openly claim that they are superheroes and they can openly operate easily. So what I think so is that if it's still not that much in future, it would still be more focused somehow, or you can say in some manner, towards the Power family kids, because it's they who are actually now you can say discovering the things, and especially the character of Jack Jack. Over the years, he has built a lot of you can say a great audience because of his you can say unique personality and superpower, and also one of the very underestimated mysterious characters as well. So it would still be very interesting to see them how they are you can say doing, and what is the actual power of the storyline, because in the first movie we have that superhero dilemma in which we got to see syndrome, but after that in the second movie it was you can say more about you can say the legal framework of superheroes. Let's see that what the third movie would be about, because right now not any you can say villain is officially revealed or any official plot is revealed yet, but still what I think so is that it would be still more focused on the kids somehow. Yes, obviously it will have a major focus on the kids, and like have you said that the storyline will continue rightly or shortly after the second installment, so we can expect that the you can say the ages of the kids aren't that much you can say changed, and if the focus shifted on them, then it might be some plot like that involves them majorly in the plot. Like somehow we can expect that their parents, their father and mother got kidnapped, or the other superheroes too, and they have to lead you can say the some kind of team to you can say save them as well and save the day, save the world, but ultimately obviously that could be a possibility then, to make them a major spot, to give them a major spot in the plot. Yeah, definitely, and I you can say totally agree with you over this that this would be a very interesting plot to see if it happens. And in this way, they can make the kids explore their unique powers and ability even more, especially for Jack Jack, and also building over the storyline like something they did same in the Incredibles one, but the only difference is that at that time the kids were almost you can say in their early childhood, and their mother actually went to the adventure where they, you can say, initially discovers that they have powers which they can use like this. So it would be really interesting to see it like that. And if we discuss the release date, as I have already told you that Incredibles 3 was given the slot in 2028, and it is most likely to come out in November 2028. I think so. The exact, if I got to be exact, it will be 21 November 2028. It is expected to come out on that date, and as of now, the work is going. There's not any official update much yet about it. That what would be the storyline or characters, but all we know and what all we thought we have discussed with you. Now, if you move forward to the next one, it's Coco. Coco 2, to be precise. So, Coco 1, first of all, I want to add some comments that the Coco 1, when the movie got released, it wasn't, you can say, because definitely it was a newer movie, there wasn't any much existing fandom or something like that for it. But still, how it nailed the box office and the things was really amazing. And definitely, it was meant to be because the storyline, the characters, and the whole arc was amazing. How they have made the characters, how they have built the storyline arc, it was all really amazing. And after watching Coco 1 at that time back in 2017, we were just started getting curious at what would be about Coco 2. But for years, we don't know why Disney did this, but after that, the era came in which Disney stopped making the sequels and started more focusing on the newer movies. Due to that, Coco 2 was, you can say, too much drag that it just got announced back in 2024 that Coco 2 is there, and that too is not publicly announced. It was announced during a meeting Disney stakeholders. Disney CEO Bob Iger at that time announced that Coco 2 is underway, and after that, definitely it was publicly announced too that it is on the way. So again, for Coco 2, there isn't much information available yet. But one thing which we know is that it has given the slot in 2029 because 2028 is for reserved for Incredibles. As we all know that both are Pixar movies, Incredibles and Coco. So that's why if 2028 is given for Incredibles, then 2029 will most likely will be for Coco 2. So it is coming out sometime in 2029. If we discuss the storyline and things like that, what are your thoughts about this? Yes, obviously the second installment of Coco is a much awaited Disney sequel, which we all are, you can say, waiting for a very long time, because the first film was released back in 2017, and since after that, for a long time we haven't got any update, even update about it. Like if we discuss the scenario of other films, then about Toy Story we might get update a little bit before the Coco 2, but Coco 2 was announced just after, you can say 2 to 3 years after that. And the Coco first film was so much huge success and was ended on a, you can say, plot like that we really want to know that what happened with the Miguel next, and will he return to the land of dead again, and if so, then what could happen then, and what we could expect from the second installment. And that's the major, you can say, excitement about it, that what we, you can say, expected to, you can say, get to see in the second installment. Like now we have the updates about it so far is that the plot will focus on the Miguel's younger sister, which was born at the end of the first installment. I forgot the name, uh, but yeah, it will focus on her younger sister, which was born at the ending of the first film of the Coco, and together those siblings will go back to the land of dead to meet the, you can say, grandma Coco, which died unfortunately at the end of the first movie. And from there they got some, you can say, got into some trouble or something like that. They got indulged in a adventure there. Might be we can see the return of the Dela Cruz as a villain again, or might be with some other villain or something like that. But it will focus, you can say, on the Miguel and his sister, and as they went back to the land of dead. which makes you can say theme very much exciting because we really want Miguel to have you can say return to the land of death and have a great adventure there again. And please let me know the name of her sister because I really forgot that. Yeah, the name of Miguel's sister was Socorro Rivera, I think so. Yeah, Socorro Rivera. Yeah. So yeah, the storyline is as you said, it is that, and I think so that it is the most likely storyline which can happen because the reason why we have shown that Miguel's sister born at the end of the movie, and after that at the same time Mama Coco had passed away, it makes sense that they can make Miguel return to the land of dead in this way because other than that, at first there was an impression that Coco 2 will be focused on Miguel who is missing uh, the grandma Coco, and to meet her he returns to the land of dead, but that don't make any sense, because Miguel has already cleared all the paths for her and already done all the things for Hector and his family in the land of dead. So he returning for you could say not any obvious reason makes not any sense. But yeah, this storyline which has just came up or being rumored or we can say being speculated, it definitely makes sense because Miguel's younger sister have never seen Grandma Coco, and maybe it is also possible Miguel's have that kind of you can say a grief that her sister doesn't haven't met the grandma Coco. So he takes her sister with him to the land of dead to meet grandma Coco for once, and there they got into some misadventure because definitely there can be the return of Ernesto de la Cruz, but there maybe can also you could say some new villain. Maybe we can get some new villain, and let's see that what happened. But I think so that we would get a newer villain this time other than Ernesto de la Cruz because they have already built his storyline a lot in the previous movie. So I don't think so that he would be returning, but maybe if he returned, it would be a really great thing. But still, let's see. Yes, and one thing which I theorize from the things which I you can say expect is that after the scenario could be like that as well, like if they didn't want the Dela Cruz to have a return, so they can you can say focus on the life of the Grandma Coco, obviously, like of they you can say introduce a villain just like her father had a villain like Dela Cruz in her life. They could introduce a villain like in her life as well when she was living in the land of you can say obviously living in the real world. In his life they introduce a villain which is there too, and now you can say trying to harm their family there or something like that. So it could also be a you can say scenario obviously. Yeah, definitely, Tami, you are right, and I agree with you that this can be a scenario too, and but yeah, definitely. But I have you can see that kind of feeling that the villain, whoever it would be you can say more something related to the land of death because in the first movie we have seen that both the worlds were interconnected in the storyline by the way that they joins the past lines and the present lines and what happened to all the family members. But I think so this time it would be more focused other than the family because before it was you can say more, totally focused on the family issue that why they didn't you can say remembers Hector or why what was the actual reason. But I think so this time it would be something related to more land of that because after Coco 2 was announced, there is a lot of debate over this that in the first Coco movie we have you can say seen Land of Dead, but we haven't much focused on Land of Dead in that terms. And it is also debated that the Coco 2 will be more focused on the Land of Dead and its secrets because definitely we haven't got that much information about it in the first movie. So it is possible that in the second movie we can get more information from there, and that too in a way that we can get a villain there which is creating which has totally have an arc from there, not anything related to this wall or something like that. But still, let's see what happened. And again, if we finally discuss its release date, then Coco 2 is scheduled to be come out on sorry in 2029. It has given the release slot in 2029, and most likely it will also come in November 2029. because in November it's you can say Disney's special release slot, which is given to Disney special movies. So that's why in 2028 it would be for Incredibles 3, and in 2029 it would be for Coco 2. If we move forward to Moana 3, then Moana 3 is just got recently announced, and it was really surprising. Yeah, surprisingly not. That means we were expecting Moana 3 because Moana 2 was really good, and also at the end of Moana 2, we got the cliffhangers that the storm god Nalo was going that he would take the revenge and come back. The story is not over yet. Also, we see the crab, the villain crab there, who also joined the forces with him, who was the actual villain in Moana 1. So all of this was already indicating that there would be a Moana 3, but we were really surprised by the announcement, which was made just really sooner abruptly, and it was made by David Johnson, who is also the, you can say, voice actor of Moi. So he revealed that Moana 3 is in development. It was a huge development too, because uh, Moana 3 is in development. It's a great news. Although we don't have many information yet because it is very recent update and very developmental update, because right now it's, you can say, getting updates coming out time by time. But what I can expect, and I mean, you can expect from Moana 3, what I think so is that even before it wasn't announced, from the perception of Moana 2 ending in the post credit scenes, uh, we can see that now definitely Moana and Moi are both demigods now. So it would be something related to the war between demigods, and definitely the other Moana villains joining with the other demigods who are evil to fight against these the duo. Yes, obviously, after it wasn't a very surprising announcement. Yeah, it was surprising in terms of the time. Like we aren't expecting it. We aren't expecting the announcement just before the release of the live action Moana, obviously. But yes, it wasn't just surprising to have a Moana 3, as we all know that the franchise has done so much well with the two movies, with the first two installments, and also the in the last, obviously in the ending of the Moana 2, we already got that they have added the cliffhanger intentionally to, you can say, have paved the way for the Moana 3. And obviously it would have a very great idea to continue the storyline of Moana, as the franchise has so much potential left to be explored. And obviously, and if we discuss the storyline, like have you said, obviously that the now like now after the end of Moana 2, we know that both the Moi and Mora are demigods. So it could be something between the demigods or things like that, like the evil demigods versus the, you can say, good demigods. And the, you can say, also the thing that the villains of Moana 1 and Moana 2 are getting you can say uh, getting, you can say, together and come back, making, you can, shaking off their hands to, you can say, have their revenge of on Moi and Moana. That's make it even more a bigger movie. Like we could expect that Moana 2, sorry, Moana 3 will have a very great showdown. Yes. Yeah, definitely. And the thing here is that the way that Moana 3, I think so, would be even more adventurous than the previous two Moana movies. And the reason was definitely, as you stated, because now Moana is also a demigod alongside Moi. So both of them, you can say, are now have the matching powers. Before, Moana was just a normal human and Moi was a demigod, but now both have the special powers and that immortality, that they can fight off other demigods and the evil forces more, you can say, strongly. And also, there would be great to see the emotional arc of the storyline with Moana's family, that how they perceive the things as of now, because there's much to see that what happens next. Because at the end of the movie, Moana became the demigod, and now let's see that how the life of his family is pursuing after she had become a demigod from a human. It would be also very interesting to see that. And if we discuss the release date of Moana 3, then it is highly expected to come out sometime after 2030, or maybe in 2030. But 2030 is the, you can say, it's the earliest we can get it, because if it's stated that it's right now in development, it would still take, you can say, about 3 to 4 years for a regular movie to be built in 3D CDI. And also, depending on the release slots, of Disney, which are, you can say, mostly occupied till 2028. And in 2028 they have Incredibles, then they have Coco 2. So it is most likely possible that it would come out sometime in 2030 or later. And yeah, so the earliest we can get it is 2030. Yeah. Yes, obviously. First of all, Akhtar, yes, you have said it right that it will be very interesting to see that what's is, you can say, happening, and how with the Moana's family, especially her personal life, it will have a major focus as well in the storyline. That because definitely after she becomes a demigod, there must be some change in her life and in the life of her, you can say, loved ones and things like that. And uh, it was happened at the end of the Moana too, so we haven't got to see much of his personal life after she becomes a demigod. So obviously we got to see the things like that. And also the release date, yes, we could expect it after the, you can say, 2028, because or 2029, because till then the slots are already filled with so much amazing sequels by the Disney. Yeah, and if we move forward towards the next one, which is Monster Inc. 3, then it is something we have been waiting for years, and it is, you can say, still uh, not officially announced, but it's still there on the board, and it is, you can say, revealed by official sources that a Monster Inc. 3 movie is underway. But it's, you can say, right now very secretive. No, not much any updates are revealed about it, but it is still underway. But here you can see the things got interesting, because if we discuss its storyline, that what can happen in Monster Inc. 3, then as we all know that Monster Inc. 1 was released in 2002, and the Monster Inc. 2, which was, you can say, actually a prequel, Monsters University, was released in 2013. And after that, in the past years, Disney have two series for it too, and one of which was, you can say, a spin-off series, Monsters at Work. And that series actually, you can say, changed the whole storyline, because it shows that now monsters are using the laughter power over the, you can say, scaring power. So now they are not scaring the kids; they are going to make them laugh and using the laughter power for their universe. So it's, you can say, really amazing, but it definitely changes the whole storyline. And now the major question here is that what will happen in Monster Inc. 3? It will most likely be the sequel, definitely. It's going to be carry on the things, and because they finally solved that cliffhanger which was left in Monsters Inc. 1, then at the end, uh, Sully and Mike hear the, you can say, a voice of Boo once again. So let's see that how first of all they solve that cliffhanger, and next that how they solve this thing. Which universe would they follow? Would they follow their original storyline from the first movie, or would they follow the events taken place in the spin-off series Monster at Work, and now monsters are, you could say, making kids laugh? What do you think, Tanvi? Yes, obviously, after we are really excited to see and really wanted to see the reunion of Bo and the Sully and the gang. So we really want to, you can say, their reunion, and we are, you can say, anxiously waiting for it, and we want to see it in the Monster in 3, and we want that cliffhanger to solve. If you ask me, that I will prefer to continue the storyline from the original Monster Inc. movie, which was ended on that cliffhanger that at the end they hear the voice of Bo. So we really want to see it. And also the concept of the spin-off series could also be introduced in that way, like that they could show that after that they are now, you can say, shifted, you can show some flashback or thing like that, that the monster world has changed the things to, you can say, have their work and things going on, like they have shifted on laughter power now. Obviously there is always, there could be always any transition in terms of energy. It's happened in the real world too, as the technology, you can say, proceeds. So obviously there could also happen something like that, like they could mix up the both storyline, but take the original one in the basic. Yes. Yeah, you're right, Tanvir. Right, you can see it would be really interesting to see how they have managed the things. And other question here is that how would they make Go to return? Like, if who is making a return, then would she be returned as a grown-up kid, or is she, you can say, now an adult? Because yeah, it would happen in sometime in future. So let's see that how far they would take the storyline, that how many years have passed, and how is Boo doing now. Because I have that feeling that they must will feature Boo in this Monster Inc. sequel. Because if it's a sequel and it's without Boo, then it would be, you can say, really, you can say, devastating. Because without, she was the main characters alongside Sully and Mike in the Monster Inc. one. So, and she's, you can say, the only kid who knows about this monster universe and things like that so deeply. So it would be interesting to see her, that if she's doing some work, or maybe a twist of the storyline, that she's doing some work to prove that there are monsters universe or something like that, or some you can say some storyline like that. It would be really interesting to see that. Yes, obviously, Akhtar, and your concerns are really right, that there should be both in the upcoming sequel of the Monster Inc. And the concern is right, because so far after the original Monster Inc. In the prequel or in the two spin-off series, mostly it have been perceived from Disney that they are ignoring the Bo character at all. Yeah, we can understand that there are spin-offs and there are prequels. They aren't, you can see, we haven't got anything after the Monster Inc. one, after the events of Monster Inc. one, but still, they aren't have, you can say, much focusing on the bow, even in the spin-off or something like that. So what we could expect from a Monster Inc. 3, that's a major question. Will Disney consider the Bo as a, you can say, major character of the franchise, or they just take her as, you can say, a sporting character that was in the original film, and now the second film will focus on some other child or something like that, or some other problem, something like that. But honestly, we really want the reunion of both Sully and Mike. The three of them are the, you could say, best ever gang in the Disney's universe, and we really want them to come back again. The all of them in the third installment. There should be must the character of Bo involved somehow in the film. It might be some like something like that. He's grow up, and now, you can say, obviously trying to uncover the truth behind the monster world, and uh, to the real world, or something like he get back to there and meet the Sully and Mike and help them with something, might be, obviously. Yeah, you are definitely right. And if we finally discuss the release date, that it will most likely come out. It's not coming out anytime before 2030, definitely. It will most likely come out sometime in 2031 or 2032. And still, that would be, you can say, earliest, because there are other movies too in the list which are more prioritized, like, again, Incredibles 3, Coco 2. And then after that, you can say Moana 3 is now also on the board, Toy Story 6 is also on the board. So it would be, you can say, interesting to see which release slot they give to the Monster Inc. 3. And I hope so that at the upcoming D23 event, we would get some insider update that how is the production going on, any update about the production or the characters for all these movies, and especially for Monster Inc. 3, and about something about their release slot, at least, that when we can expect them to come out. Yeah, and I think so that's all from this stream. Yeah, what did you think, Tavi? Yes, that's all from this stream. We have discussed almost all the Disney animated upcoming Disney animated movies so far. We have the, you can say, major updates about them. We have discussed the all details here, including all of these. So that's all from the stream, and thanks to all who join us. Yes. Yeah, thanks a lot for watching.